Episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. We have a lot in store for you tonight. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all things Buckle Up with the Boys. All gas, no brakes. We want to give a special shout out to our new sponsor, AE Diesel Services, owned by Alex Embert. If you haven't checked them out yet, check out his services. All right, well, welcome to the episode here. That did not work. I don't know what the hell happened there, fellas. I'm sorry. Welcome to Up with the Boys. It's an honor and a privilege to be in front of you wonderful people out there. Nate, Trevor, how are we doing tonight?
Doing wonderful, man. Fresh off a Morgan Wallen concert last night for Trevor and I. Had a heck of a time. Great old experience, and ready to talk sports tonight with you, DB.
Yep. Trevor?
Hell yeah, man. Wallen was absolutely fucking fantastic. What a guy. What a showman. But before we begin, obviously I got to touch on we are currently Ben Roethlisberger days away from football. Or if you're an absolute degenerate, we are Pete Gonzalez days away from football. The guy threw one pass in the garbage time in a Cleveland Browns game in 1999. One pass, 8 yards to Hines Ward. Hey, perfect passer rating, baby. I'll take it. But yeah, obviously, Big Ben days away from Thursday Night Football. Very exciting. College football going on. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be alive.
Yes. No, it's a lot to touch on tonight. A lot of things going on. Where, again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit it down below. I know the intro didn't work either. We got to give a shout out to our AE Diesel Services. He's our sponsor as well. We appreciate you, Alex. But boys, a lot of things going on here. A lot of players cut. I know me and Nate talked prior to the episode here. He's going to touch on, explain the whole cutting process because I don't really understand it. And I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know it either. But just some notable guys that, got cut. Colt McCoy, Bailey Zappi. Colt McCoy from the Cardinals, Bailey Zappi from the Patriots. Nate told me he got picked up on the practice squad, though. And then, in home here with Pittsburgh, Zach Gentry gets cut. So a lot of things going on. Nate, just explain to the people out there what the hell this all means when someone gets cut, I guess, from an NFL team.
Yeah, so I'll kind of go back to you got 90 guys in preseason. You can only keep 53 or 54 of them, I think, now with that third quarterback that they're guaranteeing to be active and stuff, which is a great rule, by the way. But anyways, pretty much how it works is you got to make final roster cuts. Cuts get made throughout preseason. Guys get brought in. Guys get let go. And then there's, a series of final cuts within the last few days before kind of finalizing rosters here this week heading into play, which begins in 7 days, as Trevor started the episode with. But pretty much what happens is if you get cut, you can clear waivers, and then if you don't clear waivers, you can get picked up to another team. You can get assigned to their active roster or to their practice squad. But if you clear waivers, you are, free to sign with any team after that. So that's kind of how that works. Bailey Zappi cleared waivers and went right to the Patriots practice squad. And then, Zach Gentry's still out there as far as I know. And same thing with Colt McCoy. I personally believe Colt McCoy is going to get picked up some way or another. He's the last man standing from his draft class in terms of quarterbacks. I didn't think he'd be the last one, especially at his size, but he's kind of grinded it out. It didn't help that he started his career with the Browns early on, but he's come a long way. He's a very serviceable backup. Bailey Zappi's a nice player. I can't believe he's not on the active roster, but they also cut Cunningham too, who's been an absolute pleasure to watch in the return game, at quarterback, at receiver, at everything. So he's also on their practice squad as well from Louisville. Oh. And I don't know, Zach Gentry, I don't know what's going to happen with him, man. Just to touch on him. He was the odd man out. They signed him to a 1-year deal, with 3 really serviceable tight ends that are all dynamic in their own way on the Steelers. Gentry was easily the odd man out. But, yeah, that's kind of how that process works. Okay. Got to clear waivers, and if you do, you're free to sign with practice squad on any team or an active roster. But, some of those guys I think will get a shot, whether it's practice squad or active roster. They've been each one of those guys has been in the league for, a number of years. So we'll see what happens, though. But, yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Okay. Trevor, I mean, I guess I throw it to both of you guys. What the hell do you think the moves is they're having Gentry leave and having 2 punters? We got to talk about it, boys. I know we're not we're a pro Steeler podcast, but we touch on everything else. But what the hell do you think's going on?
Well, a lot of it comes down to Connor Hayward's versatility. You can throw him at fullback. You can throw him at that third tight end spot. He can do a lot of things. He showed that he's a bit of a vertical threat last year. He can still block. He can still run the ball if you need him to.
Right.
I will say Derek Watt may have overstayed his welcome a little bit. Obviously, Steeler fans love the guy. I was a big fan of him as well. Having the Watt brothers on Pittsburgh, it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. You can never have too many Watts, and we Pittsburgh lived by that for a number of years there. But as far as the punter situation goes, and I think I told you this, Drew, right before we got on here, they're going to trade one of them, most likely Harvin. If Harvin is able to, display what he's capable of in the first 5-6 games of the season before the deadline, he could very likely be a trade candidate. And I don't know what exactly they would get for him. Probably flip him for a late round pick, or I don't know. We'll see. I just know the other guy that they got's a little bit more consistent than Harvin, who either punts at 15 yards or 55 yards with little in between. I like the guy, and the guy's been through a lot. Obviously, he had the family death, I believe it was last season, that he was dealing with. So God bless the guy. He still wants to live out his dream, but you got to get a little more consistent. It's the NFL. It's the way it is. So
Right. No, and Nate, I want to hear your point on that too, what they're going to do with Presley. But, the biggest thing is you can't go from college kicking 65 fucking yard punts to go on. You can't even get over 35. I mean, I'm sorry. And he had a lot of shit going on. He got through it, but I mean, it's a business. And you and me and Cole talked about that last week, Nate. It's ugly. They don't, shit happens to you, but it's a business. You got to perform or you're done. Like we're talking. But what do you think they do? You think they do what Trevor thinks here? They cut him or not cut him, trade him?
I don't think they're going to be able to trade him. Oh, wow. I don't think you really get to trade punters too often.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
And here's what it comes down to. Kevin Colbert is another one that actually I personally believe overstayed his welcome.
Okay.
Trevor and I were talking about this yesterday.
Yep.
Why was he allowed to draft in his last year, even if he was retiring the next day? Like, that's insane. That we're the only organization in sports that would allow that to happen. I mean, that's unbelievable. Right. So, like, you're drafting a team that you're not even going to oversee, and you're still going to let him draft it.
Right.
What was up with that? So this guy, and like, just look at the last few years, what's happened. Yeah. So they don't pay Bell and AB, and I know that. Screw that. I understand that part. That's not Colbert.
Right.
But that's where this started. Honestly, if you go all the way back, we couldn't put a good offense and a good defense on the field at the same time. We keep going back and forth. Good offense, good defense, good offense, good defense.
Yep.
You remember we were scoring 30 points a game and losing. We couldn't win the Super Bowl. We were getting to the playoffs. We couldn't win the Super Bowl. We didn't have good enough defense.
No.
And then it flipped. We had the worst line in the league, arguably, on offense, and our defense became one of the best in the league. We just couldn't put it all together with Colbert. But what I'm getting at is this guy in his last few years has drafted Kendrick Green, who's one of the worst offensive linemen I've ever seen line up. And I don't know how this man lasted 2.5 years with the Steelers organization, especially as a third pick.
Right.
I think they finally admitted that they screwed it up, and this kid needs to be gone. Thank goodness. He made the team last year somehow, and he wasn't even active. He didn't even get a lid. Like, this dude stinks. He was a better center than guard. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That makes no sense. And then also he drafted Presley Harvin. So I also think it's very stupid to draft special teams guys at all. Like, I think that you can just find them right out of the undraftedness or whatever, or let somebody else draft them and then dump them and you take them. But I think it's crazy to waste picks on them. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a shame. I don't think they're going to be able to trade Presley Harvin. I think they're going to have to release him. And that is if he doesn't keep surviving, because he keeps seeming to hang on just enough. And I don't understand it. I think it's a pride thing. They don't want to admit they got it wrong. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Got to be more consistent, though.
I agree with the pride thing. And Trevor, I think you would agree with me. Tomlin has his guys. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
and I don't want to make this whole Steeler podcast episode here, but I just got to say this: if Tomlin likes you, he's going to keep you around. I think that's why we're seeing the pairs of brothers. There's not another fucking team that does that. I get the mindset behind the brothers setup,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't keep holding on to people, even though you just like them as a person, And again, Tomlin's one of the greatest coaches in my eyes ever. But sometimes it's just like, come on, you just rip the Band-Aid off. Come on, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's
you can tell he's a Tomlin guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
yeah, Tomlin and that the upper echelon of that organization needs to get a little bit of, if y'all have ever watched Moneyball, a little bit of Billy Bean in them. Just rip the Band-Aid off and understand that this is a business. And yeah, it's personal. Feelings are involved. I get it, but
Yes.
Well,
at what point do you draw the line there? And we've had many guys in these last several years just overstay their welcome.
yeah. I'll tell you what, though. Mr. Khan is trying to change the narrative of this. He
Yes,
got
he
a
is.
6-rounder for Kendrick Green. I'll take anything for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take a knee pad for Kendrick Green. Like that's a great trade.
Yeah.
We got a draft. I don't care when we could have a draft pick in 2085 and I would take it for Kendrick Green. I don't care. Like that please get out.
Wow.
Like, it's time to go.
Get out. Yeah.
Get out. We're gonna draft a guard or a center next year. They're gonna keep building this line around as long as Kenny keeps playing the way he's supposed to play, they're gonna build this on Kenny. And I hope he does play well, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's one of the things they'll address next year is probably another high draft pick on the offensive line at guard or center. And that'll be that. But yeah, no, Khan's made some really, really good moves. He signed Allen Robinson, got rid of Kendrick Green for a pick, which is unbelievable. I never thought that would happen. He's drafted really well, it looks like so far. So I'm all for it. The guy looks like the right hire. At least he's trying, man. He's trying to do something different.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Stalemate for so long. So I respect it. He's trying to do it in a little bit of a different way. So that's all I have to say about him.
I got you. No, and then to touch on a lot of things, if people don't have HBO Max, you really missed a good Hard Knocks. I'm going to tell you that right now. I watched I think it's the concluding episode for this. Is there another episode after this? Or
I think there might be a few more, but I'm not exactly sure either.
Okay. But I mean, I'll tell you, I fell in love with this Jerome Cap. And after leading up to the show, the hour before this, I've been just watching highlights. That's the kind of fucking guy I want on my team. It didn't pan out with the New York Jets, but a guy that shows up before the coach or walks in with the coach, that's the kind of guy I want there. He does, and he'd rather be in the team's team's what the fuck am I looking for?
Facilities
Than in the hotel room. Right. You know what I mean? So you think he's going to get picked up? Hopefully, Nate, just by that documentary, how determined he is. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys in the NFL. I mean, I looked at him. He's not fucking bad. He went to Kutztown. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah. Well,
right.
In training camp, the Jets had 2 PSAC guys in training camp, and they kept the one kid from IUP. He's going to be their return guy and the backup slot receiver behind Randall Cobb. So what a guy to learn from in your first year. He made the active roster. And the craziest part yet is, think about this. 2 weeks ago, they also had Corey Davis on their roster before he retired. I mean, how many freaking receivers did the Jets need to bring in? I mean, holy Pete, it's insane. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to see 2, PSAC guys. One was close to making it. He made it all through all the 3 preseason games. He got cut less than 24 hours later. The return man, he made it from IUP. So definitely awesome to see that. But yeah, I hope he gets a chance. I mean, I'd like to think that he would get a chance even if you didn't even know about this was happening on Hard Knocks. Like, I think he works that hard and he's pretty talented too.
Right.
So I hope he gets a crack, man. It's pretty tough to be a college football player, let alone a pro football player. And then to come from D2, it doesn't happen very often. Shout out to the Bears backup quarterback, another PSAC guy, undrafted. He's the NCAA leader all time in passing touchdowns. And he's the Bears backup quarterback, beat out Nathan Peterman and beat out what was his name from the XFL that was on the Panthers. I'm blanking on his name at the moment.
Walker,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay.
He beat out Peterman and PJ Walker, and he's the second string undrafted guy out of Shepherd University. So shout out to the PSAC, man. There's good football right around us where we grew up.
Right. Trevor, you think he hopefully gets picked up, or what do you?
Lord willing. I mean, again, like Nate said, to echo that, I'd like to think he'd get a chance without him being known in the Hard Knocks documentary. Because I watched that last episode with you there, Nate. He just busts ass. He does nothing but bust ass. He has the mentality that no one is going to outwork me, and it shows. Like you said, Drew, coming in with the coach first thing in the morning, and he's one of the last ones leaving the facilities. So he's obviously very dedicated to the game. I mean, you have to be to make the NFL from a D2 level.
Right.
So I'd like to see it, but like we just touched on, it's a business, and teams are going to do what's best for business. But I'd like to think that guy's best for business too.
Yeah. No. And again, just going further with the Hard Knocks talk, you really got to see Aaron Rodgers not put up with people's shit if they're fucking up in practice. I mean, and I know, got to give a shout out to Pat McAfee show on that. I watched that clip. They're just like, talking about the whole situation with 35 standing next to him while he's kneeled down, like, oh, I don't want to be that fucking guy. Well, I'll tell you, that's how Rodgers has become one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He expects greatness. He's going to try to put the ball where it is. I'm going to be honest. I was watching the clips in Hard Knocks. He wasn't putting the ball where it needed to be at times. So I don't know if that's on the receiver or he was having an off day. I don't know. But you got to see it with the Giants game. That guy bumped him, and he still has the chippiness. And so I guess I'm going to put you on the spot right here. What's the Jets' record this season?
Trevor, you want to go?
Okay, yeah. I think I've said it many times. 10-7.
Okay.
10-7, making a wild card spot. I think, and I know I've kind of said this a lot, but they start off slow. I think they're 2-4 at the break, and then they get hot later in the season.
Yeah, I'm going to pick right around with Trevor. I'll go 11-6 just to make it interesting. You go 11-6 in that division, you did pretty dang well.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you what, though. If they at least don't make the AFC Championship, well, I mean, honestly, it's like Super Bowl or bust. But like, if they don't at least make the AFC Championship game, then it's really, really bust. But I'll say this: I think it's going to be Jets Bengals in the AFC Championship game. That's who I'm going to pick. And in the you can't bet against the Chiefs, but I'm going to because I'm hoping that they finally actually lose once. And I just don't think Buffalo can get over the hump, man. And it kills me to say it. Okay. It does because my gosh, they've been so close, but. I'm going to take the Jets Bengals in the AFC Championship game.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I both your records sound good because it could be what Trevor thinks 10-7 or it could be 11-6. I mean, it's only a game difference, but I just think there's too much, I think, pressure that they're going to win in the first year with Rodgers. I don't think they do it. I think they go decently far in the playoffs, but I don't think they get the Holy Grail. I do not. But we'll have to see. You know what I mean? Everybody's high on him. If Rodgers is taking his peyote pill, then I think he's going to be all right. You know what I mean, Trevor? How many times? Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the issue with picking the Jets next year is Aaron Rodgers is going to make like $100 million in his contract next year because they literally backloaded the crap out of his contract.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is the crack, man. Like, I mean, they'll piecemeal it together next year, I think, but this is the freaking shot. They got to get it done, but I don't think they will. But like, I think they're going to be close. And I agree, Trevor, dude, their freaking schedule sucks. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. It's horrible.
Brutal. So
it is brutal.
It's really tough. And yeah, it's really hard the first 6 games. Wouldn't it be really nice to have the Jets 2-4 or 3-3 and they just go, oh my gosh, they're not as good as we thought they were. And then in Rodgers fashion, they just go bananas for 5 or 6 games. And he yells a bunch of like profanity at the other team and says, I'm the GOAT and I own you and all this crap. And all that stuff that he does. But I think that very well could happen. I think Trevor and I talked about that like a few months ago, saying like, yeah, that would make perfect sense.
Right. No, and I guess the other thing, would you guys, because I had a conversation with a coworker about this, would you compare how much they're going into the Rams the year they won the Super Bowl? Or do you think this is even more than that?
Well, the thing about, I think it's more like the Buccaneers
Okay. Oh, wow.
than the Rams. Because the Rams they pieced it over the season.
Okay.
They got Stafford, and then they got Von Miller in the middle of the year, and then they got OBJ in the middle of the year, and a couple other people here and there. The Buccaneers mostly had a lot of their guys like straight up just come with them. And yeah, there was a couple guys that came on late, but like the Jets are just like, yeah, we'll just take you right now. Like somehow they signed Dalvin Cook for $8 million. It's like, how many freaking running backs do you need? You have 4 starting running backs on your team. They're just taking anybody.
They do.
So they're going to stay fresh. They're really going to stay fresh. I think you're going to see Dalvin Cook probably stay healthy for a season. Hopefully Breece Hall gets back on the field and does what he was doing. If you're a man. But yeah, and then Michael Carter, my gosh, he's been a starter for a couple years, and nobody's even talking about him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a Abanikanda. Jeez Louise. Stud. He's a
stud.
He's a freaking stud.
That offensive line is absolutely stacked, too.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That offensive line is absolutely stacked. I got to look at their depth chart here. I know they got Vera Tucker. They got Wes Schweitzer, that guy from Atlanta. Really good guard. He's their backup guard. If that shows you how good they're Mekhi Becton, of course, coming back from last year's injury as well. Thing with the Jets, too, is a lot of their key pieces, other than Rodgers, are a lot younger than the Rams got when they made their run. So if the Jets don't do it this year, the window's not closed as it was with the Rams.
Right.
But, obviously Rodgers with the big old contract and them deferring his contract until next year and the year after. There's a lot of pressure on this year, but they just got a lot of young pieces, both on offense and on defense. And a lot of those pieces that are young are their key pieces right now. Your Quinnen Williams, your Sauce Gardners, your Breece Hall is still pretty young, Garrett Wilson. So, no, I like the Jets to be solid for the next few years, but obviously this is a shot. Right. This is the shot, and they're taking it. They're wholeheartedly taking it. And I think Jets fans are excited that that's going to be the case.
Well, yeah, and we'll see what Mr. Rogers can do. I think there is going to be a little bit of I fucking own you this year. Very excited for it. And I like the ink he has on the arm there. I looked up the tattoo. I never thought he would get a tattoo, but he's sat in the cave for 3 days, and he found out who he is. So it's a beautiful thing. So that's a hell of a transition. Switching over to other things here. Passing yards. Okay. They're saying Patrick Mahomes is going to have 4,850 yards. Do you think he takes the title for passing yards this season? Or is Mr. Rogers and Mr. Allen? I think we got to play in a factor as well, because I know the Bills fans will give me shit. Josh is running it more than I think. He'll run it instead of passing. I mean, if you gave him the option. So you think Pat has the king or has the, crown this year?
I really don't see why not. I mean, He literally lost his best receiver last year, and he had a career, I believe he had a career high in passing yards, and they obviously went on to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So who am I to doubt Patrick Mahomes at this point? If he made that season out of the weapons that he had versus the year before.
Right.
The only guy that I could see contesting him with, as long as he stays healthy too, is Joe Burrow. With the weapons that he still has, they still have that three-headed monster down there with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and what's that guy from Clemson's name? Tyler Boyd. Thank you.
From Pitt.
So, yeah. Oh, Pitt. Yeah, that's right. My apologies. But yeah, Mahomes has turned into that guy that I don't bet against anymore.
Yeah.
Do it at your own peril.
Yeah.
All right.
I said that with caution when I said Jets Bengals AFC Championship game. It's like, yeah, Patrick, I know you're still out there, buddy. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's me hoping that you don't get back there because
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing you win. It's nothing personal or anything, but just ready for somebody else to win, even if it's the Bengals potentially. But no, I don't see why not either. I think there's like 5 or 6 guys that have a realistic chance. I'll give Josh Allen a chance. I don't think he'll do it, but he's probably in the conversation.
Right.
I'll say Aaron Rodgers is in the conversation because it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't think you can really count that guy out much either. I think Justin Herbert's got a chance because they don't really run it a ton. And Austin Eckler is, pretty much a slot receiver at running back. He's so dynamic, and they got vertical threat after vertical threat. They're going to throw it a ton. Their defense is good, but they'll be hurt like always. I don't know why, because Mack and Bosa and Derwin James don't stay healthy, and it's a shame. Like, it's nothing against those guys. Just I want to see them out there. I hope they can keep it together and stay healthy. Yeah, and then Kirk Cousins is probably the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Crappy
that's a
defense,
good point.
crappy defense, great receiving core, and average at best running backs between Myles Gaskin and Madison. They're decent, but like they're gonna throw it all over the yard. It's gonna happen. So like those are the people I think have a shot.
Right. Well, I'll tell you right now, and I'm gonna, I think I haven't been spicy enough in this episode. We're 27 minutes in, and I haven't had a blow up yet. Trevor has to listen to it all the time on PlayStation, so I'll give you guys a little flavor. If you're a Brady lover, I would be really concerned. The guy's only 27 years old, Nate. Trevor. Patrick Mahomes, I think, could handily someday, and I fucking can't believe I'm saying this because I still think Ben's the greatest quarterback of all time, but I know that's not true. But the rate, he's a year older than us, Nate.
I know.
Trevor, he's, I think, 2 years old. It's fucking wild to me to see the success this guy's had. And he probably has. I God bless his soul. I hope he's able. But 10 more years. What the hell is going to happen? You know what I mean?
Maybe 15.
Right.
Maybe 15, man.
Right.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
The way these QBs are protected now and the way they take care of their bodies.
Right.
Yep.
15's out of the question. It's hard to say any pro athlete's going to play till they're 42, but
right.
I didn't think Aaron Rodgers would play till 39. I didn't think Brady would play till 57.
Yeah.
Or whatever the crap. 45.
Right.
Jeez Louise. But yeah, it's more possible these days, man. I'm not going to put it past Mahomes. He stays mostly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's had one bad knee tweak and a bunch of ankle tweaks.
Right.
So pretty solid run for him.
And I will tell you right now, he was juiced during that game. Okay, everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
You got something.
Yeah, the guy can't feel the fucking bottom of his foot. Let's just be honest here. Okay.
Yeah.
He's so strong. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He literally went in that locker room, got juiced up, and he's out here.
Magic potion or something.
Yeah,
It's not strength, it's numbness. You can't feel it.
It fucking drove me nuts when people were whatever. And I love the commentators. And Patrick Mahomes does it again. He is just simply amazing. And I'm like, guys, you fucking know. Okay, come on. Anyways, rushing yards, Nick Chubb, 1,550 yards. You think he's the rushing champ? He had a pretty good season last season. What do you think, though? I hope Najee is up there. We actually have a fucking no. Nate's already shaking his head.
I'll say no.
Okay.
Because he's going to get some split carries. He's a part of the passing game. And we're going to throw it more this year, I think.
Okay.
Because, truth be told, you have to throw it in this league to freaking win today.
Yes.
You have to score more than 13 points, Matthew, to win. We can't win 13-10 every week, buddy. We'll be lucky to win 9 games again with averaging 16.5 points per game. Like, there's a reason why 11 of the 12 highest scoring teams in the NFL made the playoffs last year.
Right.
The only exception was the Detroit Lions. And dang, they should have made it. They had the record. They lost by a freaking tiebreaker.
Fucking bullshit.
You know? So
Mhm.
we got to score points, man. We're not giving up a whole lot.
Right.
Even without TJ on the field, we didn't give up a whole lot.
Right.
And we had to watch these slugfest football games with middle school offense on one side. So, yeah, man. No. So back to the original thing. Najee Harris, no, I don't think he's going to win the rushing title. Nick Chubb, I would say is definitely a higher pick of mine than Najee for that role, for that title. Josh Jacobs, I don't think will repeat, but he had a great year last year. I don't think it's pretty dang hard to repeat. You got to stay healthy. You got to have a lot of things go perfect, you know. So yeah, I think Chubb's got a very, very good chance at it.
Okay. Or Derrick Henry. I got to throw that in there.
Yeah,
I'll say no because I think they're going to load the box and say, "Go ahead, Tannehill. Who are you going to throw to, buddy?"
That's a good point.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and throw to DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to go down there. I don't know what it is about Tennessee with receivers. It's a shame. It's a shame. And they got Burks, who's okay, and then they got Okonkwo, who's a pretty serviceable tight end. Had a great year last year, but they're going to queue the box. And in the AFC South, it's going to be ugly. I think, man. I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't. Henry's a great player, but I don't think it's his year to win the rushing title. I think that's probably a Nick Chubb year. That's just me personally, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to get you there, Nate. I am going to go Derrick Henry.
Okay.
I will go Derrick Henry. I don't like the rushing defense or the defenses, period, in that division for that matter. That's so in those games, he's probably just going to absolutely explode. And he'll parlay that into the rest of his season. I don't know what the Titans schedule looks like, and this is more just of a gut feeling than anything. I think Derrick Henry is just going to get the ball an absolute shit ton. Tennessee's not going to throw the ball. And we know how Vrabel coaches do. He's old school. He's run first. And what a hell of a guy to be your cowbell back. You know, freaking Derrick Henry, who ragdolls linebackers with ease. Give me Derrick Henry. Part of that too is I don't want to pick a Brown. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you make a good point though, because like Nick Chubb's going to see 3 really good defenses versus Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing about Henry. I kind of forgot this, and then as soon as it came out of my mouth, as soon as you said what division he played in, I kind of remembered. I was like, isn't it like isn't like one of the only guarantees in life besides death and taxes, Derrick Henry running for 200 plus yards against the Texans every time they play? So there's 400 yards right there.
Absolutely.
There's 400 of the probably 15 or 1600 he would need to get the rushing title. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Derrick Henry. Even if he is like 30 now, he's a different breed, man.
Yeah,
he's not, I don't even know if he's from this planet, man. He's different.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they also play the likes of Los Angeles, who doesn't have that great a running defense. Atlanta is
Yeah. Good point.
Carolina, they play the NFC South too. So there you go.
Yeah. As long as Derrick Henry stays healthy, he's certainly got a chance. I mean, I'm not going to rule it out, but
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Fair enough.
Chubb's tough to pick against too. Although
they're both absolute beasts in their own way. But I just like the price on Derrick Henry a little more too. Plus 600 versus Chubb is plus 360.
Right. They have him having the rushing touchdown crown. So Derrick Henry at 12. Would you feel more comfortable with that, Nate, or what do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the ball in Derrick Henry's. I think I'd rather have the ball in Derrick Henry's hands out of the Wildcat in the red zone than Ryan Tannehill's in his hands anywhere on the field. His days are numbered in Tennessee, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And finally getting that contract off the books, I think they'll be pretty happy about that. And shout out to Tannehill because he's kind of reinvented himself.
Oh yeah.
After Miami gave up on him. He went to back up, and then he earned the job outright after Mariota wasn't getting it done, and he hasn't looked back. Now, he hasn't been phenomenal, but Must be good enough, or he wouldn't still be starting, right? They drafted 2 quarterbacks in the last 2 years, and he keeps beating them out still.
Yeah,
So,
he's serviceable. That's it. I mean, he's just cruising.
He's not even mid. He's like, it's like if like mid junior existed, that's like what Ryan Tannehill is.
And I know I'm going to wait. I don't want to interrupt Trevor's take on that, what I threw out there.
Oh.
But I got to just say this. I'm really happy the Steelers didn't take Malik Willis, because everybody's like, this guy is way better than Kenny. Again, Kenny has a lot to show, but Malik did not amount to what the fuck these guys thought he was. I just got to throw that out there.
Well, yeah, the thing with the Steelers too, Drew, is they don't make splash draft picks. They make picks with guys that are pro ready generally. And I will argue to my death that Kenny was the most pro ready quarterback in that class. Malik might have been the most talented, had the highest ceiling, but you put Kenny in there week 1. Well, he ended up getting in there in like week 4 or 5, whatever, and he did pretty damn good.
Right.
Obviously, a lot better than Malik Willis did.
Jesus, I mean,
yeah.
I just said it. I mean, that kind of goes with coaching, I think, too. I don't want to take a shot.
Right.
At
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
But what do you think, though? You think Derek has the rushing title there for a touchdown?
Oh, touchdowns? Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one too.
12. Yeah, he's at
12. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not either. Now you're talking rushing, like people with the most rushing touchdowns?
Yes, rushing touchdowns. Yep.
Jalen Hurts is the odds-on favorite for that to happen.
Yeah,
That's what
I know.
So,
Pick 2.
yeah, I'm not. That's not my pick. I'm just throwing that out there too because I forget exactly how many he had last season. I think it was like 9 or 10, something like that.
Yes.
But no, Henry's the cowbell, and Tennessee's not going to pass, especially down on the goal line.
No, it'd be dumb.
Oh yeah, be very dumb. Don't pull a Pete Carroll in Super Bowl 49, please.
Terrible idiot.
Terrible.
Fucking idiot.
Give it to your cowbell back.
But
just be done. Be done.
I think this one's going to be very interesting, and I want to see your guys' takes. Receptions 111. Justin Jefferson takes that at 111 receptions. I have my own thoughts on that. But Nate, Trevor, whichever one wants to go here, what do you think?
I kind of want to hear your thoughts, DB. I kind of want to hear your thoughts here.
I want to hear what DB thinks about
Jamar Chase. Like, let's not get out of hand here. Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp. I know the Rams fucking sucked, but Stafford did go down. So
He did.
We had fucking Baker Mayfield come in. I mean, that's kind of a little big drop there from Stafford Mayfield.
Right.
So, no, I'd put Cooper Kupp. I'd rather take Jamar Chase than Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson will have more yards, but I think Chase will have more receptions. You guys might not agree with that, but I don't know.
That's honestly an interesting take because Jamar Chase, we saw him in his first year. He was the big play guy.
Right.
I think he averaged around 14 yards per target, something around like that, And then in his second year, it dropped down to 9 because teams just literally played like cover 3 or they put the safety over the top and they forced him to get those underneath throws.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that take. Jefferson to have more yards, but Chase to have more receptions.
Yeah. It's kind of like
That's
a Heinz Ward thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Hey, what do you think?
If there's one guy that I think that you're both undervaluing a little bit, I mean, you can't go wrong with Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. Don't even get it twisted.
No, I don't.
Right.
It would be Amon-Ra St. Brown to me. I think he is.
I like that.
Really?
I like that.
A very pass-heavy offense. He has a great connection with Jared Goff. He stays healthy, and he's active in all different sorts of routes. He's a screen pass guy. He's a slot guy. He's an outside guy, and they get him the ball. So he's someone that I really think that – and the Lions don't have a great defense, so they're going to have more possessions to possibly get the ball.
Right.
Great couple years. Last year, he was freaking unbelievable. I was so glad I got him back on my fantasy team. But yeah, I think that's one guy that has an outside shot of getting it. But yeah, like people like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. And I think Stephon Diggs would be the other one.
Okay.
Got a good with Josh Allen. He's finished in like the top 10 like every year he's been with Buffalo. I think he's been top 6 every year with Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken, actually. But yeah, I'd say Diggs and Amon-Ra St. Brown are some of the outside guys besides them that have a chance at it.
Okay.
Michael Thomas a few years ago would have been my pick, but geez Louise, the guy can't stay on the field anymore.
Oh, God. No.
He fell off quick, but he's still going to be good, but he ain't going to catch 100 balls again. I don't think.
He's peaked. That's for sure.
So I don't want the whole show to be, people having future bets here. You know what I mean? But I want to throw one more thing out here. The sacks, they have Nick Bosa projected at 14. I know. I don't think it's going to be that low. I don't know who it's going to be, but I don't think it's only going to be 14.
Yeah, I was going to say 14.
Leader as.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is off NFL Network. Shout out to that.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, he's getting 18, 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, and he's in a contract year this year.
Yeah,
so, he's going to have to ball out. I mean, I think they're fairly close to getting a deal done as we speak, but even if it falls through the cracks there and he balls out this season, you could see much more of a payday.
Right. Well, we cannot forget TJ does have a deal with Pat McAfee if he gets 22 and a half sacks. Trevor, we cannot move past this.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So that's also playing a factor with me. He's like, oh, okay, motherfucker wants to challenge me, and also I get to donate to any charity I want to donate $500,000. I don't know. Well, I'm very nervous in regards to the sacks. I don't know who's going to do it. If it's Myles Garrett, I'll be fucking pissed off.
Naturally, yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah, your distaste for Myles Garrett is well documented.
It's just like Marc Gasol for Nate. It
wouldn't be a buckle up with the boys episode without Myles Garrett being brought up and Drew Billy getting pissed off.
Well,
yes.
Hey, I haven't thrown in somebody's name in a long time, Trevor. So we're doing good in that.
No, I know. But you did it the one time a couple weeks ago. You broke the streak of about 3 episodes where you didn't do it.
I almost did tonight, but I had to hold myself back. But what takes you guys got here? I know Nate has some things. Trevor, you got a good thing in regards to the Cowboys organization, or not a good thing, but bad news coming out of the Cowboys organization. So, Nate, anything you want to touch on here tonight?
I just wanted to talk about a couple of the other cuts that happened in the NFL. Okay. One that I was really surprised about was Matt Corral with the Panthers.
Yeah,
that was a tough one. He was a 3rd-round pick out of Ole Miss, and this dude went from like possible 1st-round pick to 3rd-round pick to cut in less than 2 years. He played in the bowl game. He risked it all. He tore his ACL. That dropped him in the draft, and then now he's not out of football. Like, I think he's going to get picked up, but I mean, already a 3rd rounder, got picked by a team last year, and then you go and they draft Bryce Young, like right in front of you, which stinks. But yeah, that's like one of the ones I saw today. I was like, kind of feel bad. Like, he went from like possible Heisman guy to playing in the bowl game, risking it, tearing his ACL, getting picked in the 3rd round instead of the 1st round. And now he got released by the team that drafted him already. He was a 3rd-round pick. I wish the Steelers would have taken a lesson from the Panthers and cut their 3rd-round picks a little sooner. Shout out Kendrick Green, but
boy, is that the new Marc Gasol, Nate? Or
dude, he might be worse than Mark. Goodness gracious.
He was pretty bad.
I don't want to take over your take because I did this last week with Cole, and I got very pissed off when I watched back, and I kept interrupting your shit. I just got to throw this out there. I agree now with Ben that they should not have drafted him.
Yeah,
and gave him 100%. A rookie fucking center. I mean, terrible. Last season he has that fucking bonehead. But anyways, keep going, Nate.
So that's one. Matt Corral is one guy. Unfortunate to kind of see that happen to him. I wanted to talk about some of the prominent college football matchups this weekend. There's a few of them. Florida's playing Utah right now, so that's obviously a good one. Cam Rising's not playing for Utah. He's still coming off the ACL injury in the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
Utah is not having any problems. They're up 17-3 at halftime. So, Utah continues with that stout defense. Think it's going to serve them well. It's serving them well in the Pac-12 that is short of on defense, and I think it's going to serve them well when they move to the Big 12 next year in 2024. Another conference that's short on defense. I think Utah is going to be able to hang just with a lot of those teams, but in their own way. A little bit of offense, but a lot of defense. Also, you have Penn State, West Virginia this weekend at Beaver Stadium, 7:30 kick. Going to be a good game. I think the last I looked, Penn State was favored by 20.5. I don't think they'll cover that. I think it'll be a closer game than people think. It's kind of a low-key rivalry game. There's some West Virginia guys that, are from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. It's kind of a rivalry game for them coming to Beaver. It's the first game for Drew Aller. A lot of stuff that's unproven for Penn State. I think West Virginia will be scrappy and kind of keep it a little bit closer than a lot of people think. That's just my opinion. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but obviously being a Penn State fan. But wanted to mention that game as one to watch. But game of the weekend, LSU, Florida State. I know Trevor is certainly a huge Seminoles fan this weekend. Not a big Brian Kelly fan anymore. After in the Irish a few years ago, kind of high and dry there for $100 million and a spinny video camera. That seems to be one of the perks that he got as well. Goofy peace signs and dance moves and all that stuff that came with it.
This is the thing with him too, Nate. He acquired a Louisiana accent the afternoon that he got there.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting that happened.
That was hilarious. Like I never was a huge fan of him. I was in that, he got us a lot of wins. He got us to the playoff multiple times, some significant bowl games. But the way that he left obviously left a bad taste in my mouth. He had like a 15-minute meeting with the team, and he's like, see you, bye. Hops on a plane to LSU. And then literally the next day he's talking in their gym about, how he's going to bring LSU football back and all this other things with a Louisiana accent. I'm like, dude, you've been here for 5 minutes. Anyway, continue. Otherwise, I'm going to rant about Brian Kelly.
Yeah. Pretty quick linguistic change there for Brian Kelly. I'm not sure how that developed, but more power to him. If I was $100 million richer, I think I would talk any way that they told me to talk. And as Coach O said, if I have $27 million left in my contract, show me the door and I'll be out of there immediately too. So either way, LSU has insane money, and it's kind of crazy that they're paying two coaches at one time about $130 million. One to not coach the team anymore and one to coach the team. So pretty wild they had that much money. But back to some of the games. Yeah, I think Florida State LSU is gonna be a great one. I'm picking LSU. I'm not a big ACC guy. I don't think that conference is very good. But Florida State's back. We got some players. Should be a good football game. Another one that should be good, I think it's game day, is at South Carolina UNC, if I'm not mistaken. Should be ACC, SEC crossover there. You got two really good quarterbacks. You got May, you got Spencer Rattler. One guy I think that everybody seems to love, and one guy that I think everybody loves to hate, in Spencer Rattler. So that should be another good game too. Yeah, it should be. I'm excited, man. This is a great couple weeks here with football back. I know college football started last week, but some prominent matchups right off the bat. This is where kind of the big dogs emerge here. I would have loved to. Notre Dame gets Navy right off the bat. In normal years, I think when Navy's a little better, that's kind of a tough matchup with kind of a more of a cakewalk than I think they expected when they scheduled this game a few years ago. But man, I just wanted to talk about those prominent matchups and also say kind of feel bad for Matt Corral. That's all I got today, DB.
That's tough. It's slap in the face. It sucks.
Yeah.
I wish him luck in whatever endeavors he has. Trevor, I totally fucked up on the opening there. It's not, you have great delivery of your stories, but this is bad news for the Cowboys organization. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
I just that bothered me. I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. You're all right. Since you led me into that little transition there, I'll start with the bad news and then move on to more stuff that we can debate here.
Yeah.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Gil Brandt, one of the architects of America's team, I hate that moniker, but he is one of the architects of America's team. Died today, actually. He was 91 years old. VP of player personnel from 1960 to 1989 for the Cowboys, obviously during those formative years. And in the 70s, some pretty good Cowboys teams there. Obviously, there's the Steelers-Cowboys Super Bowl rivalry. So lost Cowboys organization, lost a good one. One of their key figures from very early on. He was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2019. So it took them a little while for that to happen. And from what I read, no bad blood between him and Jerry Jones. Of course, Jerry Jones came in 1989 and pretty much cleaned house, got Jimmy Johnson on board, and he just kind of revamped everything there. Fired Tom Landry, which obviously wasn't a huge thing at the time, but Gil Brandt was one of those guys that he, kind of helped clean house there. Yeah. But 91 years old. He was in the game since the 1950s when he was a scout for the Rams. And he also wrote for NFL.com, and he's a Big Ten alum. Well, now a Big Ten alum. He went to Wisconsin way back in the day. And Jerry Jones, as much as we all like to hate on that geriatric insert expletive here, he kind of had a nice touching quote here. I'll read it off to you guys. Gil was as good a storyteller as it gets, with a memory as sharp as a tack. His dedication to and passion for this game left a lasting impact on generations of Hall of Fame players and coaches. There are very few people that have been able to have the kind of generational impact that he did. Gil was as dedicated to growing this league and sport as anyone ever was, and we are grateful and better for him. Rest in peace, Gil Brandt, and thoughts and prayers to his family. Yeah. And that's about the only time that I will sympathize with Cowboys fans.
Down there in Texas. Yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and yes, everything is America down there, America's team.
Yeah.
Another thing I kind of wanted to touch on, and we can kind of talk about here, the Trey Lance trade. Him being traded to the Cowboys. Yeah. I guess, it kind of works with that transition there. Traded to the Cowboys for a 2024 fourth-round pick. This after him being drafted in 2021 when the 49ers traded, three first-round selections for him. And obviously, it didn't work out for him. So, what do we think happens to Trey Lance's career here? I mean, I know he's probably going to be the backup to Dak at this point. Is he going to ever get the start?
Could we have a little, not even close, Trey Lance, Dak, talent-wise, but a little Brett Favre, a little Rodgers thing here. He sits behind Dak for 5 years and gets a starting role. That's what I think happens, Nate. I don't think they stay with Dak after his contract. I'm just going to put that out there. But I don't know if Trey's the saving grace.
Contracts, good while.
Right.
Yeah. I think Trey Lance, Dak Prescott are kind of similar players. And that's why I think that they think he's going to fit in the system. I think that's kind of what it is. They're both a little bit mobile. They have big arms, decent athletes, and they both were underrated or undervalued at times in their career. Obviously, Dak was undervalued coming out of college. And now Trey Lance might be undervalued. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to think of that. It didn't seem like Dak was thrilled. Didn't seem like McCoy was thrilled about it either. They didn't really seem to know that was happening. But low-key, the guy that's probably the most pissed is Cooper Rush, because the dude went, what did he go, 5-1 or 6-0 last year when Dak was out? And he gets a demotion again for playing great. That stinks. That literally stinks. He should be more upset than Dak. And no one's even talking about Cooper Rush being upset.
Right. Trey Lance got fucked by the 49ers. Like, there multiple people are getting fucked over here, okay? Because you got Trey Lance, they draft you. Brock Purdy, America's favorite son, comes in, takes your job. Okay. Then you go over to the Cowboys side. You got Dak. He's pissed off. Oh, they're bringing youth in. Are they trying to fucking push my ass or whatever the fuck's going on? But you also fucked over that guy. Carried your ass when you should have lost every fucking game. I would be pissed. That's Jerry. No offense to the nice quote he had right there. He's a fucking son of a bitch for that. He's an asshole. That shows me. But Nate, here's the other thing too. I read the article. Trevor, again, not trying to take over the segment, but I'm very passionate. I read the article. No one was made aware of this.
No.
Like Dak didn't even seem.
No.
There is no gelling there. Like Jerry, it doesn't seem like gives a fuck. He's going to do what he wants to do without talking.
Yeah.
He wants to win.
I mean,
He's sick of Dak getting hurt all the time and having to put in Cooper Rush and Mike McCarthy having to figure out these goofy offensive plans to try to pick their spots. They'd rather have someone in there like Trey Lance that are like, all right, well, at least if he's slinging it around or can't freaking hit anybody, he can run around. Cooper Rush is like old school quarterback, plays a little bit differently, plays well, but
he does.
I think it's an easier transition from a Dak to a Trey Lance than it is from a Dak to Cooper Rush. You got to change your whole dynamic of your offense. Not like you can run the same system, but you call the plays a little different. Dak, what makes Dak good is he can go right back in the pocket and pass, or he can run around a little bit and make plays. Like Trey Lance, that's his strength too. His strengths are more Dak's strengths than Cooper Rush or Dak and Trey Lance's strengths. So that's why they did it. I mean, Dak can't stay on the field the whole season. That's what it's about.
right. Well,
Like,
McCarthy.
here's what I understand. Dak, if you're that worried, play. Stay on the field, dude. That's what you have to do. Don't throw picks and stay on the field. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about who the backup is. Like, or if you're that worried he's going to take your job, he couldn't beat out Mr. Irrelevant and Sam Darnold, who also can't stay healthy and had to go to the third team to finally get a chance.
Oh God,
Still isn't starting. So if you're really that worried, you shouldn't be Dak. Just play and quit throwing picks every 3 passes. That's all you have to do.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
No.
I was just going to throw in there that McCarthy just can't stop putting barbecue fingerprints all over the playbook because he's eating fucking baby back ribs. I mean, that's all I was going to throw in there. That's why people are confused.
If I grew up in Pittsburgh and moved to Dallas, I think I'd have barbecue sauce on everything I touch too. So I don't blame you.
Is this a circle or is this a fingerprint? I can't. Is this part of the play or what the fuck's? Anyways, go ahead, Trevor. Holy fuck, we're getting out of hand. Oh, fuck.
Well, no, I just love that. I did that little touching thing on Gil Brandt, and then we immediately go back to shitting on the Cowboys. So I figured it was going to happen. We inevitably. I bring up the Cowboys. It's eventually going to devolve into that with this group here. So
Holy shit!
whatever,
No offense,
it's all good. I'm all for shitting on the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott and all that. But
pre Jerry, we respect. Now now Jerry, fuck you. Okay, that's just to clear up the air if people are confused.
fair enough. So,
Hey.
No.
Last week, Trevor, you weren't on. EB will remember. I picked Dallas to go to the Super Bowl against the Bengals.
My mouth almost hit the floor.
Dallas.
They're one of the most talented teams in the NFC. They are. You can't even deny it. If you look at their roster, they're so talented. And I just feel like they got players on their team that are so sick of this narrative of we can't win the big game. We can't win a big game. Like, when eventually is it going to piss these guys off enough to not to win this thing? Also, McCarthy's probably pissed because he's coaching for his job, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think this is the year that it almost clicks for them. And you asked about sack leaders.
Yeah.
I think Micah Parsons might be your sack leader.
Oh yeah, Micah. Yeah. Crosby too. I forgot Max Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby's another solid pick. But
Yeah, he's up there.
oh man, Dallas on paper, you just have to get it done. We're tired of. I'm tired of being like, when's Dallas going to get it done? And just never happening. Like, I don't even like Dallas, but it's so annoying to see that. It's like, can you guys just do it once? Get it out of the way. It's like the Raptors, man. The Raptors are this crap with LeBron James for like 6-8 years. They're like, first round, they play the Raptors, we'll beat the crap out of them. And then finally, the Raptors just finally get past it and they win the whole thing. That's all it takes.
Right.
If Dallas can get past the freaking second game, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. I really believe it.
Right.
You got to get past the freaking second round.
Right.
Or the first round. But they finally got past the first round this past year. Well, it takes gray-haired Brady to have cement feet and nobody to catch the ball, nobody to block for anybody. But they still won, so whatever.
Right. Yeah, you got the players pissed off, and you got McCarthy fucking just chugging down Tums. I mean, it's not a good combination. So we need a victory out down there in Dallas. Okay.
Trevor, sorry.
Yeah, keep going.
Go ahead.
I'm not as upset that you interrupted my segment as I am that you brought up the Raptors playoff run again. But
I didn't bring it up in that.
I'm just gonna suppress it.
Yeah.
I'll save it for another time.
I just brought up the run in general and them finally getting.
No, I know, but it you know my brain, Nate. It triggered me and bad memories all around. But no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about football here. On to some more news. TJ Hawkinson, record-setting tight end deal. What do we got here? 4-year contract extension. It could be worth up to $68.5 million, $42.5 million guaranteed.
Wow.
Both of those being the highest for a tight end in NFL history. Right now, he's actually making $9.4 million, which is the sixth most among tight ends. So with this new deal, he's obviously going to be paid highest paid tight end in the NFL. And I think the answer is obvious to this question, but does he deserve that?
Deserves some money, but I think Travis would like a word.
Yes.
I mean, gosh, Travis Kelce could be the GOAT if he keeps his rate up.
I see. Yeah. I want to throw that in there.
Come
Do you
on.
think – okay, this is going to be a hell of a take, Trevor. I think TJ's selfish by taking this deal. I think Kelce has taken pay cut after pay cut because he wants teams around him. I don't want a fucking guy that – Kirk Cousins is almost out the door. Let's be honest here. Okay, so they got to figure that shit out. You got Jefferson. You don't have a running back, really, core at all. The line's okay. Your secondary is shit. We touched on it during draft night. It's just fucking
It's real bad.
completely just fucking missed it. Who the hell did they draft first round? I remember.
Addison.
Oh, yeah.
Addison.
Fucking Addison. I think it's selfish. I think they fucked themselves. I know that's an interesting take. I didn't say that on the phone with you, but after I thought about it, I think I think you're putting too many eggs in the basket.
No, I mean, the guy had a real good season last year between the two teams, 86 receptions, damn near 1,000 yards, and career high 6 touchdowns, which he's done that twice in his 4-year career. So
Right.
Phenomenal tight end, phenomenal vertical threat.
Right.
Should he be the highest paid? No, not at all. Not at all. Is he in an offense where he's going to absolutely thrive? Yes, because the Vikings throw the ball about 80% of the time.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. As far as the selfishness aspect of it, I look at it this way. I would take the money.
I would too. I think it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Try. You have to try.
Yeah.
Your
Right.
agent
Oh, yeah.
wants 22.
Right.
Like
Oh, yeah.
your agent gets more than you get more. So like,
Right.
Yeah, your agent comes up to you and says, "Hey, I got this record-setting deal at your position."
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no.
Well, let me throw it this way at you guys. Would you rather take a little pay cut and get the Super Bowl, or just have all the money and then you're just on a fucking has-been team, mid team?
I would rather have the money because you still have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You aren't guaranteed either way.
Oh, I agree.
Correct. Yeah.
Guaranteed
He's-
anything.
Right.
He's guaranteed a good bulk of this money, and I think to an extent, some of these players, these elite guys, have to be realists of where their team is at and their chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Minnesota's not going to do anything as long as they don't have a defense.
Right.
Right.
You got to have a defense that's going to be able to make some stops, to force a key turnover, to make some big plays. You can't just be scoring 38 points a game and winning 38-35 every game. It's not gonna work like that.
You can't win 11 one-score games.
No.
Again. Come on.
Mhm.
What's the guaranteed money, Trevor?
42 and a half.
Holy shit.
42 and a half. Out of a potential 68 and a half. The baseline is 66. 68 and a half is the potential with incentives.
I don't know about that. I mean, hey, yeah, again, the players should take it, but I just think it's idiotic by the Vikings. Wow.
Again, that's another organization that you could say they're cursed, but
They are.
they also shoot themselves in the foot.
They're close. They're always close, man.
They are always close.
You go to
I was
4 Super Bowls in the 70s and
mhm.
with the Purple People Eaters, and he had Brett Favre, and you were right there at a chance to go to the Super Bowl and you didn't win. You had you were over there in the NFC Championship game with what was his
Culpepper.
Gary Anderson.
Case Keenum,
Case Keenum.
That guy. Okay.
and then they made the playoffs with Kirk and probably some other teams in there as well. Oh well, they had
The 98 team.
yeah, and Moss and Carter and all those guys. They always have great teams. It's just
They do.
just can't put it all together, man. That's another starving franchise for a Super Bowl that deserves one. Been around for a long time, and they're deserving of one. I don't hate the Vikings. Just like
No, you can't.
No.
what will they screw up this time? Like that's what it is.
Right.
Or what will screw up for them this time?
Yeah. No. That's something though, Trevor. Wow. I didn't know it was that much guaranteed.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. That news just came out today. I was very, very stunned to see that. I would say probably the third best tight end in the game right now. Obviously one of the elites.
Yeah, he's tough,
but
for sure.
highest paid tight end in NFL history.
No.
Absolutely not. The guy that you brought up a little bit earlier, Nate, Michael Thomas. He's played 10 games in his last 3 years. He was on a good pace last year before he got a toe injury after 3 games. Got a new quarterback. Obviously, Olave is at the top of the depth chart at wide receiver for the Saints. What do we think? What do we think on Michael Thomas? Does he have a bit of a career comeback year? Is he able to stay healthy? What's going to go on in New Orleans down there?
Well, he's been a grump for a bit down there with Drew Brees retiring, and he's been unhappy with Jameis Winston. He's been unhappy with Taysom Hill. I mean, he's just been unhappy. And he's milked out some of these injuries. He's been, he waited to get surgery, according to reports, when he could have got surgery in the offseason. Then he waited like a couple weeks before the season. Then he's like, I'll get surgery now. It's like, why would you do that? Then last year, I think he was actually starting to feel good about what was going on down there. And then Jameis got hurt, and then they brought in Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton was hit or miss. And then Taysom Hill played quarterback again, even though he was listed as tight end. Oh my gosh, what a freaking 3-ring circus.
Yeah.
My gosh. Well, hopefully now he'll be incentivized because Derek Carr, I would like to think, is better than Andy Dalton. I'd like to think he's better than Jameis Winston. And he's probably the best quarterback he's played with since Drew Brees. Yeah, like pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's incentivized to stay on the field. Hopefully he stays healthy. He's kind of had these nagging toe injuries. Still a great talent.
Right.
Still a really good talent. So hopefully he stays on the field, because if they can have him and Olave and Johnson and they have so many great weapons around. You get Kamara back out of suspension, like that team should be on paper. Sure, good defense. So yeah, hopefully Michael Thomas can stay on the field for the first time in like 5 years, man. It's freaking weird.
Yeah. No, I think he's just crybaby a little bit, Nate. You know what I mean? You lose a Hall of Fame. I mean, he kind of, I don't know. Guy, I'll tell you, he has a quarterback now. Let's see him play. But I'll tell you, if I was running the organization and I got a guy that's just being a little bitch about it, I'd send him out. But I hope he, actually performs, because Chris Olave, I like him. I think he is a special fucking talent. I really do.
Yeah.
And that's a guy, I'd build the organization around and the core wide receiver core around. But I got fucking cold, real fired up last week when I said Derek Carr's going to have a hell of a season this year.
Yeah.
But I think so. Yeah, and I hope
Right.
Michael Thomas does too. But quit being a little bitch. Get out there. Let's you got a good quarterback now. Let's see what he can do. Let's get back on the Let's get back on the rails again. You know what I mean? Because fuck him and Drew Brees. That was a special connection. And Jimmy Graham's down there, right? Too.
Yeah.
They
There's
got
something
Jim
going on there though.
Juwan Johnson and Olave, Kamara.
Yeah.
That's to be a pretty decent offense.
It is.
If they stay healthy.
Yeah. And again, with that division that they're in, not a lot of good defenses coming out of there, other than the Saints, really.
Saints
have a
defense.
decent defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be good. I think that it'll be a case where Derek Carr finally has a defense. He won't have to score 30 points a game to win games.
Right.
I don't know. That division is just so up in the air for me. I don't know.
I can't forget about him because it's just a fucking disaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a shit show down in the NFC South right now. A lot of up and coming guys, a lot of weird teams, but
yes.
No, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. What else do I have here? Oh, I had some college football bets I wanted to touch on if we wanted to transition over to that.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so obviously we're Penn State guys here. Penn State's over under on wins, and I figured this is about where it would be, 9.5. Over under 9.5 for Penn State. Obviously, nice tough Big Ten schedule. Ohio State and Michigan. They play Ohio State at the Horseshoe, October 21st. Then they play Michigan on Veterans Day at home, which I guess is the big noon Saturday game. That should be the whiteout game, but that one's against Iowa, September 23rd. Fox has got to have their big noon Saturday, don't they?
Yep.
But yeah, then just a couple games where, Nate, we talked about this too. Illinois is going to be a good team. Penn State's going to have to go on the road against them in their third game. Then we got to play Michigan State. They're up and coming. That'll be the last game of the season for the Nittany Lions. And obviously a lot of unproven things with the Nittany Lions as we speak. Chief among them, Drew Aller. We'll see how he does. He's obviously supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks of college quarterbacks of his generation. We'll see if he lives up to that. But yeah, 9.5 wins. I like the over. I like double-digit wins. I like another New Year's 6. Some folks are picking them to win the national title, make it to the playoff. I don't know about that, but 9.5 wins. I think they. I don't know about comfortably, but they can get 10. They can get 10.
I'm over that. Yeah, 9.
Over that.
Yeah, over. Yeah, all day.
Gotcha. Yeah.
PSU baby, let's go. Let's whoop that ass. Let's whoop that fucking ass this year. Come on.
That's regular season only, right?
Correct.
That's correct. Okay. I was gonna say because even if they're winning at minimum 10, even if they would go under. I think they'll win. The least that they'll win is 9.
Yeah.
I think that Illinois game's tricky.
It is.
That's a tough one. It's going to come down to the trenches against Ohio State and Michigan. That's really what it comes down to. Like, we're right there with Ohio State. Our skill guys are pretty close to theirs. They just make one more play or 2 more plays that we don't. It's a turnover, or they get one big explosive play out of their offense that we don't get, or we just don't make a stop, something. And Michigan pushed us around last year. I mean, you and I were in that game. That was embarrassing. I don't know how the heck we were leading at halftime. There was no business for us to be leading. We played.
They bullied us. They absolutely just bodied us. They just rammed it down our throat. That was the most matter-of-fact domination in the rushing game that I've ever seen against the Penn State defense.
That was ridiculous. That was unreal. So yeah, I mean, I think minimum's 9. I think everybody's pretty much in agreement on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go 10 wins. I think even if stupid Illinois has like a 11 a.m. Central kick bull crap going on a Friday night, whatever the crap they're allowed to do out there in the Big Ten West because they all stink.
That's a noon kickoff. That's a noon kickoff.
Well, yeah, 11 a.m. Central.
11 a.m. Central. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then it's on like a freaking Friday night. It's crap. It's ridiculous. It's not on Friday.
It's Saturday. It's
It's
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday at 11 a.m.
They've done this in the past. They did this in the past. Northwestern is allowed to play at 11 a.m. Central. It's stupid. And then last year we played Purdue on a Thursday out there, like a Thursday night. And then Maryland gets to play us on a freaking Friday and close the school. And then Illinois gets to host us on a Friday randomly the one year. Now they get to host us at 11 a.m. Central. It's like, will you just all do the same? Like, we could count on Hawaii playing at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every freaking week. Why can't we count on Penn State playing at like noon every week? It's so annoying to me. Like every time we go play the Big Ten West, it's always some stupid stipulation. I hate it. Just stick with the freaking time. Stick with the time. But if we play Iowa, Michigan, or Ohio State, it'll be a great time every single time. But as soon as we play anybody else, they do all these funky things with the days and the times and the locations to try to beat us. It's like, cut it out. Cut it out. It's stupid. It drives me nuts.
Fuckers.
Yeah. And then Maryland loses 59-0 against us on a Friday night, closed school. The whole school left at halftime. See you later, Dink.
Yeah.
When you play us, you stink. So you shouldn't have shown up.
I was gonna say I should get a flag that just says 59-0 on it, but I don't know too many Maryland fans that I would piss off by doing that, so I don't think it's worth it.
Terrible. I can't stand
that's still great. One of my best memories as a Penn State fan was that 59-0 game.
I can't stand that they do that.
Oh, I know. I know.
Play the game at the regular freaking time.
It's fucking,
Stop these kids. Cut it out.
Well, and they, their mascot's a turtle, so like they're a little slow. They're a little slow down there.
Yeah, and they couldn't even call them the Maryland Turtles. They had to like call them a Terrapin because Terrapin sounds ever so slightly better.
It's better, but then you look up what a terrapin is, and it's like, oh, it's a turtle. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that explains a lot then.
It's derived from this beautiful whatever. Fuck them. PSU, yeah, they're going to do very good this season. Trevor, not concerned.
Yes, no, I agree. Now,
Yeah,
10 wins will be solid. 10 wins will be solid. We'll get another appearance at the Rose Bowl or some New Year's Six against a Utah or something like that, and we'll be in good shape.
I'm actually excited for the quarterback that's going to be playing. No offense. Not even going to say his name because it is what it is. He's on, what team's he on now? The Packers. So,
backup quarterback for the Packers.
Yeah, they should be fine. I wasn't impressed by him. I'm not even going to say his name because, But anyway,
it's a big red dog. Good for that guy.
Yeah.
I said his nickname. That's all right. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone other than Marvin Harrison Jr. win the Biletnikoff Award? Anyone other than him? I can list off some options if you want me to.
Well,
he's definitely a top candidate.
Yeah.
He's the favorite at plus 200. You got Rome Oduns. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Xavier Worthy, Emeka Egbuka, Brock Bowers still at Georgia, and Jalen McMillan are the favorites right behind Marvin Harrison Jr.
Pretty hard to pick against the pass-heavy offense with arguably the greatest college football wide receiver prospect of all time.
Yeah.
I think I'd pick Marvin. As long as the dude stays healthy, he's going to be right there. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. He's different.
As much as I hate Ohio State, they're a wide receiver factory now.
Yeah.
And Marvin Harrison might honestly be the best of that bunch.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy and he lives up to the hype. But he does everything right, I swear. I don't think I've ever seen him drop a pass. He runs perfect routes. He's got great quickness off the line. He can beat guys in man, zone, whatever it is. If you're lined up opposite him, good luck. You're going to need every bit of it against that guy. And I'm going to dread watching him play and probably get a couple 100 yards against Penn State. But, that is what it is here. And then touching on some more award winners here, Caleb Williams still the favorite to win the Heisman. Nate, I know we've had this discussion. You think he's not going to repeat, but then behind him you got Jaden Daniels, Jordan Travis, Quinn Ewers, Michael Penix Jr., and Cade Klubnik. And then for shits and gigs, right along with Michael Penix Jr. is my guy, Sam Hart.
That's my pick. Started out well, 4 tuds.
I was
Big
going
old
to say.
win over Navy. I'll
Uh-huh.
take Sam Hartman, man. He beat if the likes of Clemson, Ohio State, and USC, or beats 2 of those 3. Oh, and it's almost a guarantee that the reason they're going to win those games is because Sam Hartman balled out too. I don't think there's any other way Notre Dame beats those teams unless Sam Hartman balls out.
Yes.
So I'm picking Sam Hartman, man.
I'll follow Nate on that.
I don't know what it is. I think it's magical, man.
I hope both of you are right. Because Nate knows, he witnessed firsthand what I went through last season with Notre Dame in the quarterback position.
Oh,
It was a struggle. It was very much a struggle. Had to really rely on the run game and get the ball to Mayer in whatever damn way we could so he could bowl over some guys and get every single yard he could.
yeah.
We don't have to worry about that this year. We got one of the best quarterbacks one of the best college quarterbacks of our generation. And obviously he's he 5th-year senior. He's got plenty of starting experience at Wake Forest. Quite the turnaround from the likes of Drew Pine and Taylor Buckner last year. I'll just say that much.
Ooh.
Yeah. A dark horse one too. I like Quinn Ewers just because the Big 12,
Yep.
Texas, they're going to score a shit ton. He's going to get a shit ton of stats.
Yeah.
So to not sound biased, I will take Quinn Ewers. Although I hope you both are right.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's the 3 of the guys that are going to be in the top 6 are Quinn Ewers, Caleb Williams, and Sam Hartman.
Yes.
I think those are 3 of the top 6 right there.
Yeah.
Nate sold him to me last week, and then I started looking up, and I'm like, okay, all right, I see. I'm gonna hold his hand on this journey, and we're gonna see what happens.
Yes. He had the impressive debut. I will admit I didn't even expect that much of a pummeling of Navy.
Yeah.
I know Navy's going through a little bit of a rebuild right now, but we almost blew a 35-point lead to him last year. And I called my dad at halftime. He was worried about that. He was having flashbacks for a hot second.
Oh,
But then the second half started, and we were all good. All squared away, 42-3. No worries. I just hope he can keep that up, especially against the likes of USC, Ohio State. So it's going to be tough. But if Notre Dame can get the 10 wins, I could very well see that. I just think Ewers is just going to stat pad the shit out of everything. And I know that's what Heisman voters look at. It's what they look at. It's one of the main criteria is obviously stats, but I don't know how many big moment type of plays that Texas is going to have, but
yeah. My only knock on Ewers is not even on him. It's just like the principle that Arch Manning is making $1 zillion sitting behind him.
That is true. I forgot about that element. You are correct.
Quinn Ewers, like he probably has a shorter leash than everybody thinks, even though Arch Manning I don't think has looked as great in practice as everybody thought he would be because he's a Manning and he wasn't completely ready at 18 years old at the snap of the fingers. I mean, he's a human being. But
Right.
I feel like Quinn Ewers is still going to have a little bit of a short leash. Plus, he's got some injury history. So, I don't know, man. I'm not speculating that we're going to see Arch Manning, but I'll tell you what. I think that if you're Quinn Ewers, you kind of feel some pressure, right? Oh, my gosh. Even if he doesn't say it, that's a lot to kind of
You have the heir apparent breathing down your neck.
Right.
Just waiting for you to slip up and him to come in and then prove everybody right.
Right.
So, that's interesting. But hey, we know what pressure does to coal. It either turns it into dust or a diamond, and hopefully with Ewers, it'll be a diamond. And I have nothing against Texas either. Notre Dame doesn't play them. Penn State doesn't play them.
Yeah. Right.
Another going to touch on some conferences here. Anyone other than Georgia winning the SEC? They're the favorite at -110. Obviously, Bama right behind them, +300. LSU +460, and then it tapers off from there. Tennessee right behind them at +1500.
I'll take Georgia. They got nice little cushy UT Martin in the middle of their schedule.
Their
Carson,
out of conference schedule is stupid.
it's terrible. And then they got Beck. He's got obviously has a huge brain in his head because he's got a huge forehead. So it's got to be something in there to protect that. Biggest forehead in college football history is Beck from Georgia. So yeah, I'll take Georgia. It's probably
Georgia.
they get all these freaking recruits.
I would think so.
They're rolling. They got UT stinking Martin. They got a Tennessee branch campus on their schedule. Them and Alabama somehow got them in the same freaking year. Feel so sorry for UT Martin. Oh, brother.
Fuck Roll Tide. Go Georgia.
Go Dogs.
Yep.
Go Dogs.
Fuck. I hate every Alabama fan out there. I hate them. Roll Tide. Bitch, you're not even from the South. Okay? So let's calm the fuck down here. Okay? Nick Saban came in and all of a sudden, I was, no. I love the history with Joe Namath going there. Now, shut the fuck up. When Nick Saban came there and they started winning national championships, that's when you decide to put an Alabama shirt on. I hope Georgia Georgia wins it. And I'm going to leave it at that because if I go further with it, I'm just going to piss more people off. But fuck Roll Tide. That's ending statement.
No, that's all good. I've said it for a while now. That Alabama was the Patriots of college.
Oh yeah, Tuscaloosa. Yeah,
Tuscaloosa. And I absolutely despise the Patriots. Guess what? I despise Nick Saban and Roll Tide. And obviously, to insert my own personal bias here, they kind of thumped us in a national championship a little while ago.
Yeah.
So I still hold that.
I get it.
But moving on from that, yes, go Dogs.
Yep.
We're 3 for 3 there. Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Then an interesting one in the ACC. It's either going to be probably Clemson at +150 or Florida State not far behind at +170. Does Florida State finally eclipse Clemson? I think they're ranked 8 and 9 respectively, somewhere in that neighborhood. I know Florida State's ranked 8th. I think Clemson might be 6th, 7th, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Let's go FSU on that, Nate. Come on, join me in that.
It's tough.
I'll put it in right now. I'll put it live. I'll put that in right now.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It's a really tough pick. I hate the ACC.
All right.
I hate the ACC.
I hate Clemson. I never liked them. I just basketball or football.
I don't know, man.
They
It's
are
hard to pick against Coach Sweeney.
yeah,
I think I'm going to go Clemson.
okay.
I think I'd pick Clemson. Okay. Who's going to win the ACC? That's what I want to know because it's always freaking dumpster fire.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't know. Pitt, I guess.
I don't know. Pitt. They win 7 freaking games.
They might win that with that.
I know.
That's the sad thing.
Right. They did get in it with 1 year with 7 freaking wins.
No, they could. They literally could. Side note with the Florida State Clemson thing, they do play each other September 23rd in both teams' 4th game.
I say whoever wins that, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that's bold, Nate, but
Yeah, I'll pick Clemson.
It is at Clemson. It is at Clemson.
I'll pick Clemson.
So it's Clemson.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate to do it, but Clemson as well.
that's okay.
Well, actually, I don't hate to do it because Florida State with the freaking that I hate that so much.
That's why I picked.
I hate it. I hate it with the Atlanta Braves. I hate it with the Seminoles, and I hate any other knockoff college pro team, whatever that just does the Chiefs. I hate it. I hate that so much. So just for that reason, again, I know I'm biased as hell with this. That again, Florida State, Notre Dame. There's a little bit of history there from way back when.
Right.
My dad has educated me on Florida State, Notre Dame history. Don't you worry about that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I know this isn't the right Tigers, but go Tigers. Go Tigers. And that's pretty much all I got on the betting side of things for college.
That's a hell of an ending point, Trevor. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Not the LSU Tigers.
No,
Fuck the LSU Tigers. Clemson Tigers, whatever. I don't care. DB, you muted yourself. What are you doing? I can see your mouth moving, but nothing's coming out.
Can
One
you hear
of
me
the
now?
few times I've ever seen this. There we go.
Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. You know, you bump one thing. Nate, I pulled the whole setup out. I don't know how the fuck that didn't happen last episode. When I don't know what the hell I fucking pulled the score.
Yeah,
and
you
fucking
were-
flew over there.
Oh my gosh.
That was a little fucking too much. But anyways, a little other things I want to throw out here NFL ways, and then we can have ending thoughts, I guess, or whatever. I mean, I don't know what timetable here. We're already at an hour 30. Fuck it.
Oh,
let's,
yeah.
let's see where it goes. I'm going to say a very bold thing here. Joe Burrow remains top 5 most sacked quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think they addressed the line. I think.
Yeah,
No.
they did a little bit, but I still think he will. I think he holds on to it a good bit too. He does.
He does.
He takes some freaking hits.
Yes, he does.
He's willing to do it, though. He's one of the few quarterbacks in today's day and age. It's like, yeah, it's football. I'm going to get hit.
He doesn't care. He like sees. He's like, I'll get it off somehow.
Right.
Hey, yeah, if I don't want to get hit, I got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I get it. So you think he'd rather hold on to the ball than throw an interception? He'd rather get sacked than throw.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So it's just
Yeah.
more of a okay.
Yeah. I mean, the lines he's had before, they weren't great either.
Fuck.
The lines. It wasn't just Joe, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I think Joe will still be top 5 most sacked quarterback in the league.
Okay. And then another hot take. It's going to piss a lot of people off here in Western New York, but it's the goddamn truth. And let me tell you, because you keep smashing tables and making pizzas and cabinets during the preseason, you will fail to win the division, Bills. Sorry.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow. Who are you going with? Going with the JETS Jets.
Yes.
Wow. So you think they're going to get 11?
Yeah.
That's probably it's
Ooh.
11 or 12.
Yep.
I think.
I'm going to tell you right now. Thank God she's not here. She's down at her camp. So, because I would be getting smacked. I think you're going to know by midseason, it blows up. We have an issue. I'm not letting it go. I don't give a fuck. Diggs, his attitude, something's going to happen. I'm telling you. Josh, Madden curse, something. I don't want wishing any injuries on anybody, but I do not. I think the Bills completely flopped this season. I think they totally go right from the Bengals game, because I don't know if you guys watched that game. I was sitting up there in the apartment, and I'm like, oh, everybody's losing their mind. Oh, we're going to fucking beat the Bengals. They laid a fucking egg. And this preseason, Nate, I'm not treating it like a Super Bowl, but it's a kind of predetermined thing here. What the hell's going on? They're back to right where they were. I don't think I think they lay an egg. I think they go back to the old Bills.
That's spicy.
I might get
That's
death
spicy.
threats. And you know what? I
I
accept
was gonna
it.
say you might get put through one of those flaming tables that you keep talking about. Somebody's gonna power bomb you off the bed of a truck through a table for saying that, Trope.
Nate, am I?
Careful.
But you agree? You agree with that or no? I mean, I'm sick of this shit. Like,
I think they got one more year of the same spot they've been in, and then it's like, okay.
Mhm.
they're done.
I think they'll win the division this year, 12, 13 wins. Probably second round of the playoffs again, and then they'll lose again. And then they'll be like, all right, nothing has changed. We haven't picked up the right players. Our line still isn't very good. We have too much money wrapped up in too few guys.
They do.
Do I think Kincaid's going to be a nice player? Yeah, but you sign Dawson Knox, then you pick Kincaid in the first round. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
that's why
What
he
are
was
you
fucking
doing?
stupid. Yeah.
That's not even your weak spot at all. You need depth at pass rusher and in the secondary, and especially on the line. And they're like,
Yep.
tight. No, he's good. I think he'd be good, but it's weird. It's a weird fit. I don't know.
McDermott on the hot seat.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
No, GM
Yeah.
is the one on the hot seat.
Bean. Oh boy,
Mhm.
Nate. Now,
Mhm.
now you're talking my shit here, buddy. Okay, all right. There's some controversy.
He's
Go.
gone like right there, but like, how much do you put up with?
You're right. Wow. And the Belugas want to win now.
They
They
can
want to
both
win.
go together. I don't know.
Right. Well, I'll tell you right now, the Belugas aren't building that fucking stadium for this this fucking play. They want a goddamn Super Bowl.
Well, the thing is, the way that the Bills played for about 15 years, they'll definitely build a stadium now. They could start crapping out. They'll be like, all right, well, we won for 5 years in a row, so now it's time. Even though we lost for the previous 10 to 12 before that.
Right. Talking about Taylor Days. Jesus.
Mr. Week 1.
Oof. Jesus. Poor guy gets his fucking lung punctured. I mean, fuck.
Oh,
Jesus. I mean, what the fuck was that?
well, if that wouldn't have happened, we would have waited longer for Justin Herbert. So
You're right.
But no, that was crappy. And then like the dude never even got back on the field with the Chargers after that.
No. Trevor, what do you think? Is that a hot take or?
Oh, that's very hot take. I'm kind of in agreement with Nate here. I think they got this year's the window.
Yeah.
The window might close after this season. And honestly, next season, I'd be looking at Sean McDermott, first coach fired. I'd really be looking at that.
I don't know
next year, not this year, next year.
They'd have to start.
No, I'd be looking at it. I don't know if I'd be taking it. I'd be looking at it. I'd want to see the price first, obviously, but
fair.
Yeah, I would imagine he's got to be in the top 10 if, the Bills crap out again this season, especially if they crap out before the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Who do you think will be the first one fired this year? First coach?
Again, it's a sad day in their sport, in the sports team right now in their organization. Mike McCarthy. I think I've said it, Nate. If they don't fucking do something, he makes a move like that without telling people. I don't see why he wouldn't fire the coach without telling people. I'm just gonna throw it out there, like Mike McCarthy or fucking the dumbass Los Angeles Chargers.
Staley.
Guy can't fucking keep doing the bonehead shit.
Yeah. I'm on Todd Bowles. I think to me it makes the most sense. Yep. Buccaneers probably not going to have that good of a year in a pretty crappy division. I don't know. To me he's just the easiest target.
And he's not a great head coach in my opinion. He's a great DC.
He's not. He is an amazing DC. He's an amazing DC. He's just one of those guys that's just hasn't worked out at the HC spot, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, you make it to DC as a football coach in the NFL, you're doing pretty goddamn good for yourself.
Right.
But as a head coach, the Buccaneers are going to hit the reset button as it is. I think it's just easier for them to do that.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I think the other one that's maybe a possibility is Arthur Smith for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's
shit show.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's that dude's fault, but I just think of the organization shambles that it's a possibility that he could be one of those guys that's
could be a scapegoat of sorts. Yeah,
right.
They've always been. I'm going to be honest. Ever since Mike Vick. No, you got Mike Vick, then down, shit, all that shit goes down, and then you get Matt Ryan. But that organization is just one of the most confusing fucking organizations. They've always been mid, just never really anything spectacular coming out of there. They made it to the fucking Super Bowl, but that's who gives a fuck? I
kind of have like 1 year every 15 years.
Yeah,
and they might make the playoffs like one of the other years, but then they have like 11, 12 mid years.
Yeah. Go 4-12 back in the day, 4-12, and then the next season they go 8-8, and it's like, what the fuck? And then they go back down, they're never.
Yeah. Weird thing about the Falcons, they did not have 2 consecutive winning seasons in their franchise history since until the Matt Ryan era.
Now that's a fucking statistic. Holy
See, like,
shit!
that's exactly pretty much what we were saying.
Mhm.
Wow. I didn't.
I
know
forget
that.
I forget the exact years, but it was like Matt Ryan prime era
God.
with Roddy White, Julio. They had not had 2 consecutive winning seasons in their
Oh.
franchise history, and that includes the time that they went to the Super Bowl in 1998. You know, the Dirty Birds. So
I think they fucked his career over. I just want to put that out there a little bit. Maybe that's bold.
Ryan,
Matt Ryan's. I mean, they got him weapons, but he never had a fucking line. And it just seemed like at times, wasn't he battling for his job at one point? Like, there was they sat him.
sort of.
His last year or two, he was like
Yeah.
barely starting. Like he
Yeah.
was like
Yeah, he
one of
was
the probably
more the
worst-
starter by default than anything.
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it was like who you throwing in, Matt Ryan or Matt Schaub? It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he's Hall
Right.
of Famer, though.
Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He made he was the Super Bowl, or he was at NFL MVP, and he was a multiple time Pro Bowler.
Right. So,
He's probably getting in someday.
and he's in top 10
Yeah.
passing.
He's in there.
Top 10 passing. That's as well, I believe.
He put up some good numbers.
I
I
think he might
believe so.
for
I'll have to
career.
verify that.
Okay, at least 15. He's either 10 or 15. He's top 10 or 15. But Joe, while you're looking that up, I want to see Nate's reaction. That's why I'm gonna move real quick.
Go for it. Yes.
Saints make the NFC Championship game.
Oh my gosh. Come on, man. No. Dude, they could lose their first game in the playoffs. They're gonna be the 4th seed. I truly believe.
Hot take.
Oh man.
I want to get your minds going. I mean, the season's next week. We got season opener, baby. Let's go. Come on, we got to get fucking jacked up here, Nate. Come on.
Cole would be so pissed to hear you say that. You're lucky he's not on the phone. He would be so mad.
But I'm looking. They're the dark horse.
They are, but I still don't think they're that unbelievable. The NFC is pretty bad.
That good.
Yeah.
The NFC is not good.
Yeah.
So
Bold.
yeah, 49ers get hurt again, and Dallas does what Dallas does.
Trevor,
You know, that pretty much leaves like the Eagles and the Saints. You know, I don't know, man. Maybe it's not that bold. I don't know, DB. Maybe you're onto something, brother.
Trevor, what do you think?
I don't think so. I don't. I think that's kind of.
I saw his hat go up, so I'm like, is he? What's?
I'll touch on this first. Matt Ryan is top 10 all-time
Okay.
passing. He's number 7. It's number 7.
Oh, see, yeah, Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but EB, you got the NFC is bad. You would
Oh.
probably need the Niners to get hurt and just
That's what I'm banking
shit the
on.
bed as a result. Obviously, the Vikings would have to be pretty bad to not. Well, I think they're not going to be that great anyway. I'm picking the Lions, obviously, to win that division.
Right.
But does Detroit? Like, no one on their team has any playoff experience, and
Yeah.
the Saints have guys with playoff experience, and that's a real dark horse one there, DB. I'll give that to you. I never really thought about that. And obviously, Nate, you're picking Dallas to go to the Super Bowl. That could happen as well.
I have a $5 bet on that right now.
NFC stinks, man.
I was gonna say the NFC is much more wide open.
That's why
It's a lot less congested.
they're
They're in the right situation to be the dark horse to do that.
Yes.
I can see why you said that.
Yes.
No.
Bold.
I don't see that happening. What's your return on that? You put $5 on it. What are you getting back?
Oh fuck. Let me look.
Thereabouts.
Oh.
Well, shit.
No,
You got
I
shit
got-
flying everywhere again, DB. Come on.
No. We
Don't hold yourself.
Let me throw another one out because I don't want there to be silence. Cowboys do earn the number 1 seed in NFC though.
No, Eagles. Eagles.
I don't know.
I think it's Eagles or
Eagles.
maybe. But
Eagles.
yeah, I think the Cowboys will go to the Super Bowl out of the wild card.
Okay.
Yeah, the Eagles.
The
They
top
just
wild card team.
Eagles. They lost a lot, obviously, with their staff, but they didn't hold a whole lot in terms of player quality. So Jalen Hurts has come into his own, and that defense is going to be full of studs as ever. So the Eagles. As much as I hate to say that, cross-state rival, but
Yeah. I think you'll see Dallas, New Orleans in the first round.
I
Dallas.
could see that.
Shit, I gotta find them. Yeah, we'll do it after the show.
Okay.
The other thing too, Kyler Murray's back starting games by October.
No. He's done for the year. He ain't playing this year.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not gonna
Josh
see a football field.
Josh Dobbs. It's his time, baby.
Yeah, it is.
For
Was
the
that
Rockets.
you
it
and me,
is.
or was it me and Trevor? I can't remember. I said I didn't think he was ever bad. Or we said that on PlayStation, Trevor. My bad.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
I-
no, it's yeah.
He
Go
can
ahead.
he's mobile.
Dobbs, though, man.
Yeah.
He's worked his butt off. Great professional, very smart guy.
Yeah.
He's improved a lot. I mean, goodness, I couldn't believe when I was watching him with Tennessee. I was like, man, this guy
Did real well.
up with
did well.
this. Then, of course, he threw the interception, and everybody's like, oh, Josh Dobbs lost him the game. It's like, no. Like, Josh Dobbs gave him a chance to win.
Right.
I'm gonna say, did you watch the game?
What?
Did you watch the game, or did you just watch the Sports Center highlights after the fact and said, "Oh,
Yeah.
he's a choke artist"? No.
And then Dobbs threw the interception, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars won the division. It's like, yeah, well, freaking Josh Dobbs wasn't even on the team 2 weeks ago, you idiot. Like, you're lucky this guy was a rocket scientist major at Tennessee and could learn a playbook in 2 hours to come in and play the freaking game. I mean,
Yeah.
Louise.
Trevor, that was plus 1,300 though.
Oh, plus 1,300. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna get a nice little return on that if
Yeah.
that happens. But
That shit my pants.
Hey, oh yeah.
You're going-
But yeah, Josh Dobbs. I definitely said this to you, Drew. Nate, I probably said this to you too. He's gonna make a terrific coach someday.
Yes.
Whether it's QB coach, OC, or whether he's in charge of a collegiate program, he's either going to do that or he's going to be a fucking astrophysicist or something like that.
Yep.
He's
He's going to be coaching up interns at NASA or SpaceX.
Yeah, he's going to be well taken care of after the fact. He's going to make some more money. He's going to be just fine after football, and he's going to have his pension because he's got several years in the NFL at this point.
Yeah,
so.
he's literally like a summer intern every year at NASA because he just likes to go back and do something different. Now this year, I don't know if he did that because
Yeah.
an interesting year for him because what did he sign with? He signed with the Browns.
Yep.
And then he got traded again. I think he was with Jacksonville, us twice, the Browns twice, the Titans, and now the Cardinals. And this has all been within 5 years.
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he did NASA this year. But
And then the final take of the show, if you guys have anything else, we can finish it up with that. Kenny Pickett will throw 20 touchdowns this season.
20?
20.
Oh, 20 is achievable. I thought you were going to say that 35 or whatever it was.
3,500
price-
yards. Oh, yeah.
3,500 yards. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that.
No, touchdowns I could see. I'm seriously hoping, and I know Nate touched on it earlier, I'm seriously hoping they open up that playbook way more.
Nate,
And Matt Canada, he pisses me off because he runs the same plays in the second half that he did in the first half, and the defenses have adjusted by that point. No wonder we can only score one time at most in the second half and barely hold on to win the game. Matt Canada does not adjust his play calling whatsoever. I'm hoping he actually does that to try and keep his job as the OC is, because if not, this is it for him. If he doesn't lead the Steelers to being a top half offense.
contract year, man. Let's see how he does.
It's a good point.
I'm gonna say no.
No,
Wow.
No. I'm going to say like 18 or 19, just under.
just under. Do you think he
Because-
gets rushing touchdowns?
Yes, he's going to get a few rushing. Najee is going to get a few rushing. And then they're going to run some
That's
of these stupid, goofy flip passes and crap that they do.
Gadgets, reverses, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, and I don't think that their offense on paper should be that much better, but I don't know, man. I think Canada will hold them back. So I'm going to say like 18 or 19 for him.
Trevor, should I tell Nate my bet that I told you I put in?
The 3,500 yards one,
No.
or the
Every game they
Oh,
score
yeah.
passing touchdown.
BB, I even said no to that one. That's not.
Every game they score a rushing touchdown?
Passing.
Oh, hell no.
I took it, Nate. Come on,
Yeah,
baby. You gotta believe the
I
magic,
had the
baby. You gotta
similar
believe the magic.
reaction.
Jeez.
I-
Oh,
no.
goodness gracious,
No. Well, they're gonna have at least one or two games where they score like 13 points or less.
You gotta believe in Ken. Come on.
Jeez.
You gotta believe in him, damn it. Come on.
No. No. Hell no.
He has that flow, man.
I don't
He
give a
at the gym. He's fucking jacked now. He's
Oh.
married.
He could have hair down to his ass. He is not passing in a freaking touchdown every game. I don't care.
How many yards do you think George Pickens has? So let's just
Touchdowns do you think do I think he gets?
or yards and touchdowns.
Yards.
Yards? I'll say like 1,150 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Okay.
But
All right.
I think Johnson
I can see that.
I think Johnson will get about. I think Johnson will have like 8 touchdowns this year because he had none last year. Joke.
Yeah.
He's gonna. I think he
None.
like
None.
he had a good year and he didn't even have any freaking touchdowns.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
I
a
think-
great year. Yeah, I think he had somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 receptions, close to 1,000 yards.
Yeah. He'll have
If not over it.
he'll have 1,000 yards and like 8 touchdowns this year is what I think.
How many drops?
Enough. How many yards run backwards? More than enough. Combine that and the drops, it's probably about 50.
All right.
He'll have
Yeah, combine the drops and the yards
yeah,
ran
he'll have negative yak yards because he just runs backwards.
50. Negative 50 yak and drops.
Oh boy. Well, that's the way she fucking goes, boys.
Great way to end the show.
Good way to end the show. Trevor,
Okay.
anything else?
Throws it. No way he
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
throws a touchdown pass every game. No freaking way. I'm glad you have faith in us, DB, but hell no.
Nate, I'll tell you right now.
I'm good, buddy.
There's this one restaurant in the area. It's called Cork, I think 1783 or something. Okay.
1794.
Yeah, I love that place. Okay.
Yeah.
If I hit on that bet, I'll take you out to dinner. I'll take you and Trevor out to dinner with the winnings.
Fine by me.
All right.
I mean, I win this bet no matter what. I either get the bragging rights or I get a free meal. I don't give
All
a shit.
right. All right. All right.
I give a shit.
Then we got to go to the mall and pick up some J's. But anyways,
Sure.
anything else?
Good, buddy. I'm good. Great,
I'm
great,
What a great way to end.
ending topic. I love it.
What a great way to end.
Yeah, no, it was a hell of a show. Want to apologize if you're to this point of the episode. We had little technical difficulties in the beginning there. I think if you're to this point, we had a great conversation, great content. Blow-ups here and there, strong-minded opinions. It is a sad day in Cowboys franchise right now, but we still don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, so the drought continues. Anyways, have a good day. Have a good night. God bless. Stay safe out there. All gas, no breaks. This was another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys with your hosts, Drew Billy and Nate Stice and Trevor Dinsmore. We appreciate it. Have a good night. All right, boys.
I'm picking the Cowboys, by the way.
Wait, what? What did he say?
I said I'm picking the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Cowboys, he said. The Cowboys.